Hello and welcome to this week's casual review. I'm Fred. If you're new here, welcome. Glad you found this pokey little YouTube channel of mine. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Glad to see you back. This week we're talking about Alan Wake Remastered, and specifically I'm talking about the PlayStation 4 version of the game. Now, I originally played Alan Wake, the original version, or at the very least the Steam version of the original game a few years ago. So getting around to playing the remastered, I already knew where the various story beats, as well as the objectives and stuff of finding all the little hidden stashes. It's like you use the flashlight to find little markers. It'll tell you where hidden stashes are to find the flare guns and flares, things to help you deal with some of the more hectic combat scenarios that take place over the course of the game, as well as finding all the manuscript pages and the thermoses that are scattered throughout the game. Matter of fact, the very first thermos in the game is actually very missable because you got to grab it during the opening, like the first nightmare sequence that Alan goes through. It's like it's very missable. And matter of fact, there are several like that are easily missable. Um, Now, in regards to the collectibles, while you can find, I believe you can find all the thermoses over the course of the game of a normal playthrough. I do believe the manuscript pages, some of which are locked behind a difficulty setting. If you want to get all the manuscript pages, you have to play it on nightmare difficulty the uh, to get all the pages. But as there are two achievements, trophies associated with getting all the manuscript pages in normal mode and then getting all of them in nightmare mode. So there's two different things there. But so this brings me to difficulty. Now, of course, I play games under easiest difficulty settings because I'm over 40, I'm old ish. So I am not inclined to. I've never been inclined to play games under hardest difficulty, but uh, so with that said, even playing it on its easiest difficulty, Alan Wake will present a challenge. It is very easy to get overwhelmed with enemies if you're not careful in working with the game mechanics and watching your ammo count or even your battery count. Because to deal with the enemies, you got to use the flashlight or any light sources available to break the darkness around your enemies, and then you blast them away. So typically it's flashlight them first, and then use whatever weapon you have on them. Some depending on your weapons, some enemies can go down on one hit if you hit them just right. Some enemies can take 3 or 4 shots from the revolver. Others can take 4 or 5 shots from the shotgun. If you're lucky enough to find a flare gun every so often, or the flashbangs, those can one shot some enemies, and then so you so there's a nice little bit of like gameplay mechanics to work with over the course of your playthrough. And full disclaimer, I've died numerous times. Several times were due to things that happen in regards to the actual combat, but also falling off ledges and stuff. Alan Wake, again, he is not Alan. Our hero in this game, our protagonist, is not an action hero. So you're not going to have unlimited he has a light jog with like your typical slow leisurely jog in every that every protagonist has in every video game. But Alan's sprinting ability is very limited, and it takes him a good while to catch his breath for you to resume running. So you could be running like full sprint, but just like you would in real life, Alan Wake is going to slow down. He's going to huff and his puff, and which could be really tough if you have enemies closing in on you. It's like, and if you have nothing, you gotta like hopefully dodge and duck and weave to get through to get through and hopefully find your way to the nearest lamppost. So again, so even on its easiest difficulty, there is a fair challenge. Um, but with that in mind, this is a credit to the developers of the game, um, because it would have been very easy for them to not say have a difficulty that would make this game accessible to all gamers of all skill levels or all play styles. Because you obviously have those people who will play the game on the hardest difficulty possible, um, which of course means that there are those who would looking to enjoy the story, just to experience the game. Those like myself, and the credit to the developers in making sure that anybody who is interested in playing a survival horror game, Alan Wake is easily one of the most accessible games out there. So regardless of your skill level, like if you recognize like okay where things go wrong in terms of how you died in a certain situation within the game, you can certainly work your way through it and figure ways through it, and you will be able to get through the full story. I have great confidence. Again, from a casual point of view, everybody should be able to finish this game on the easiest difficulty. For some folks, it might take a little bit more effort than others, uh, but again, it is you treat it more like a puzzle. You got to watch keep an eye on your batteries when you're focusing the flashlight. Don't fire at the enemies until after you use the flashlight on them and you see the barrier, the darkness break around them around the enemies. So this way you can have more ammo than you could end up with more ammo than you actually need, always a which is always a good thing to have in a survival horror game. You certainly want more ammo than you need. Um, in terms of replayability, this game certainly has it. It says you can easily miss collectibles. There are achievements to not just finding the manuscript pages and coffee thermoses, but also finding uh, signage posts within the game to learn all about the little town, the Pacific Northwest town that you're hanging out in called Bright Falls. So you can go back and find the stuff. There's a statistics page, so this way you can keep track of any combat related achievements. And there are a few. You got to get I believe it's like 100 enemies put down with the revolver, 50 with the shotgun, 50 with the rifle, 50 with the flare gun, 50 with the flashbang. There's achievements related to how you use a flare to push enemies back. It's like using a flashbang or the flare gun to take out multiple enemies at once. So you certainly have a good chunk of stuff to do. And also the flashlight can be used to deal with certain enemies, in particular birds. There's an achievement to using the flashlight to burn 1,000 birds over the course of the game. Uh, so if you're looking for achievements and goals and milestones, Alan Wake is a game that will give that to you. Now, if you're a streamer like I am, you do have run into the issue with the licensed music. There are some licensed tracks like Roy Orbison. There's a song by Roy Orbison in it. There's also the song "Lime in the Coconut," and in the credits, David Bowie's "Space Oddity" also plays. So if you're a streamer, you just be aware that you there are some licensed music tracks that you would have to contend with. There are certainly a number of great moments in the game, and another strength of the game is also the characters. Um, every character in the game actually contributes something in their own way, and while Alan can be a little focus and a bit of an asshole, some of the supporting cast is pretty awesome. The sheriff is pretty cool. Barry, who is Alan's agent, is actually my favorite character in the game because he provides some great levity, especially late game. It's one of the clips that I converted into a short for here on my YouTube channel is when Barry's like is geared up head to toe. He has like a little headband style flashlight. He has Christmas lights on and everything's like it's, it's like you need something like that to provide a little bit of levity, a little bit of humor in this type of game. Uh, Now some would say that the Alan Wake is very linear. Yes, it is, but again, you do have things to explore, things to find over the course of your playthrough. So that kind of is what it is there. So if you're looking for secrets and stuff, you just gotta pay attention to what's around you. Explore the open areas. You do have like a mini map will point you where you need to go, so you're not going to exactly get lost, and so you have incentive to explore and to try to find uh, various things. So would I play this game again? Well, technically I've already played it twice, so I could see myself easily playing it again at some point to try and find the other collectibles and things that I've missed on my more recent playthrough. So yeah, it was like, and do I recommend it? Absolutely, absolutely. It again, it is easily one of the most accessible survivor horror games one could play if one wants to try that type of genre out. If you're not wanting to play like the old school Resident Evils, um, or so I can't really comment on the on the remakes of RE2 and RE3 and RE4. So Alan Wake, I kind of feel is like a good entry point if you want to play a survival horror game. Anyway, that will wrap up this this rant. Thank you very much. If you played Alan Wake or Alan Wake Remaster, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. I would love to read them. Like and subscribe if you're so inclined. I know I certainly don't do it when other channels tell me to, but YouTube likes us to say it. So there you go. There, I said it. I gave you the call to action thing. So with that all said, tighten your friendship bracelet. Stay safe. Come hang out with me on Twitch. Would love to chat with y'all in person if possible. And we'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.